Home sellers are losing big right now. I can't even explain it. In Manhattan alone, there is so much new development. So if you are a seller, you definitely want to pay attention to those prices because buyers can just as easily go and get something brand new. Not only can they go and get something brand new at a discount because that's where they're at, but their buyer's compensation for a lot of new development in Manhattan is 4%, which is crazy. So where do you think those buyers agents are taking their clients? I know they technically shouldn't be, but it is just a reality that you just have to be aware of. Another thing is with those new development buildings, they have all of the brand new amenities that buyers of today are wanting. Everything from the spa, the salon for your glam squad to come and get you ready for your night out. They have pools. They actually even have pet spas as well. A lot of them are offering private dining for the residents only. That's a really big new trend that people are loving. And of course, things like co-working space, Pilates rooms, yoga rooms, the list goes on and on. So if you are in a resale, sellers, you might be losing big. Sellers are also losing big because agents right now aren't paying attention to what buyers want. It might be crazy. However, the new trend is that buyers are really looking at building descriptions and the unit descriptions, right? If it's a condo or co-op. So if you have an agent who hasn't been doing their research on today's trends, then what they're doing very likely is putting a lot of focus on Matterport or things like that. According to 2024, 96% of buyers said the most important thing was the description. Now, if you are working with an agent who is trying to sell your property who isn't up on the trends and what buyers are looking for, they might be putting out one of those bullet point descriptions instead of an actual story, right? Stories are how we sell things. Stories are how we bring emotion out through the buyer that makes them want to put in an offer on your home. So if your agent isn't up on the trends, you might be losing money that you don't even know you're losing because they put so much focus on the Matterport. And let me tell you, we of course do all of that, but we also pay attention to what buyers want and what they want the most of and what they themselves said is the most important so that we're getting all of those buyers through our sellers' doors. I'm Erin Wheelock, a licensed associate real estate broker here at Keller Williams in New York City. And if you are a seller thinking about going on the market, then this video is for you because these are all the reasons why sellers are losing out big right now. Fact is, most sellers don't even know that they're losing out by a lot because sometimes it's just in a poor choice hire of agents and they're not up on trends or things that, they really should be. Now listen, first and foremost, our contact information is in the description box below, but let's get going on the rest of these, shall we? Sellers are losing big when you have an agent that relies on StreetEasy and Zillow to sell your listing. I don't know about you, but I've gotten to where I am by being an extremely proactive person, a proactive agent, associate broker, the whole team, right? And so if you have an agent that is putting it out there on the market and just expecting the buyers to see it, you're losing so much. You need somebody that is extremely proactive. I mean, marketing with paper. You would be shocked. We actually have a 3% call-in rate on our mailers. And then maybe reaching out to the neighbors if they can, doing fun, creative open houses. I know we've done wine tasting at open houses before. We did a hot dog barbecue at an open house before. You have to have somebody that's getting creative to get out there to the buyers and get them in, not just the people that are looking 8 months in advance of them being ready on StreetEasy. We're also reaching out to other agents that we know often have buyers in the neighborhood. If your agent is solely relying on StreetEasy or Zillow, man, you are missing out on so many buyers and you don't even know it. Less eyes, less buyers, less price. Womp womp. You are also losing out big. I mean, this is New York City after all. If you are not marketing to the luxury global market, I mean, hello, there's no other city in the US that I think needs this more. If your agent isn't connected to 56 other countries just through their office alone, on top of the 160,000 agents that we are connected to by being global property specialists, I mean, even if you have a co-op, imagine all of the buyers that you are not getting your property in front of. Something that I love about being a part of this company is not only do I have access to those 58 countries full of agents that have buyers that they are sending over here to us in the US, but we also have your properties going out and syndicating on Mansion Global and Wall Street Journal online, especially if it's in the luxury world. Now, picture this, right? You have a beautiful condo, townhouse, co-op that you're thinking about selling. And what if that perfect buyer is, I don't know, over in Kuwait, or maybe they're in the French Riviera? No problem. Why don't we send them the augmented reality goggles and they can just go watch it from there on their own? And then if they decide that your property is right for them, they'll fly in and seal the deal. Or to be honest with you, they might not even need to, because those goggles did the trick. Yeah, if your agent isn't thinking like that, you're probably already missing out big. The second your agent says, let's just meet in the middle, you have completely lost a negotiation. You've lost it by a lot. That just means that you have an old school mentality as your broker or as your agent, and they don't really know how to negotiate the best deal for you. Negotiations is where you make or break so much. I mean, we've had to work it out where we're getting more money, but maybe they have an extra month to close, or we're getting more money, but maybe we have to remove some built-ins. You have to have somebody who's thinking not only strategically, but also creatively when it comes to negotiations. If that agent says anything about meeting in the middle, don't ever work with them. I mean, Don't Meet in the Middle is a great book, but yeah, they're definitely not helping you make money. And actually, on top of that, if you are interviewing an agent and that agent even mentions dropping their commission for you, if they don't even value what they do, how do you think they're going to value your home when it comes to that negotiation? Are they going to be telling you, no, absolutely not. Let's find out more motivation factors for the buyer that we can use to creatively get you more money? Or are they saying, oh, come on, we have an offer. Let's just close this thing already? No. It is such a red flag if an agent ever tells you in your meeting that they're willing to drop their commission, especially right off the bat. Doesn't mean that you cannot negotiate them, but the truth is, if they're not showing you their value and they're also willing to get rid of their value so quickly, then I hope you understand you're already getting into a relationship with someone who's not going to make you top dollar. And that's what you deserve, isn't it? You are losing out big if you are not staging your home. And I want to be clear, staging your home doesn't mean you have to move out and get rid of everything and have completely new stuff brought in, although sometimes it does, because you have to remember that the buyer is not you, right? When you bought it, and things that you loved may not be what the buyer is right now for that area or the typical buyer, right? Staging will often get you between 5 and 15% more money for your home, according to Realtor.com, and it will usually sell in 50% less days on market than what's average for that neighborhood. I mean, did you hear me? 5 to 15% more and sell twice as fast? I mean, who in their right mind isn't staging? I'll tell you who. People that don't know the stats. But when you know the stats and you know you're going to make that much more money in that faster time period, it doesn't make sense not to stage. And again, it doesn't mean that everything has to be moved out, but sometimes it does. And quite frankly, then it's your decision as a seller if you live there or if you have tenants. Do we wait until the tenants leave and completely do a restage because we know we're going to get more money? Or do I put all of my stuff in storage and live in a staged unit for a few months? The choice is always going to be yours, but you have to know the stats. And if you are not staging, or at least partially staging, you are losing out big. Now, last but not least, and I'm sorry to say this, but you are losing out big if you try to sell the home on your own. Now, again, to bring up Realtor.com, you are going to be losing on average 7 to 10% on that home price. It's just the average of what sellers got when they sold it on their own versus using an agent. And then the real kicker, salt on the wound, is that on top of that 7 to 10% that they're losing just on that asking price, most of the time they're paying an additional 3% to a buyer's agent. So that means you're between 10 and 13% if you're also paying a buyer's agent. Not only that, but isn't time money? I mean, you live in these beautiful homes, these beautiful luxury homes, because you worked hard, and you probably should still be working instead of doing our job for us. I mean, let me be clear. If anybody calls me and says, hey, Erin, I need to go into open heart surgery, can you do it for me? I'm not going to be the best person. So I'm not exactly sure why. Sometimes you have people who want to sell their own home. We do this for a living. We're up on the trends. We know what works. And if you don't, that's fine. That's why you hire someone to do it for you. Just like in this video. Okay, I've said enough. Selling in this market takes strategy, not luck. And don't let these mistakes cost you big. Now, if you found this helpful, I would love for you to hit the like button. And if you found this helpful and you're thinking about selling, hello, the writing is on the wall. At least it should be. It's on some wall. Anyways, be sure to reach out to me. My information's in the description box below. And please, as always, send this to someone. If it's not you that's thinking about selling, please send it to somebody that you know who is. We at the Wheelock team would always love to be your global real estate team of choice. Until next time, bye guys.